Good afternoon and welcome again to sunny St Brendan's Park in Birr, and we're focusing at the start on the referee. We believe he's only 24 years old, so fair play to him, and he's been given an opportunity to do this game here today, and it is the 2023 Electric Ireland Celtic Challenge final for the Corn Michael Hogan. And Michael Hogan was also 24, poignantly enough, when he lost his life exactly 100 years ago, Bloody Sunday in Croke Park, of course. So 24-year-old, nice to see a young referee out there, and I've a young co-commentator as well, an expert with me, Kevin Halley. You're what? Maybe you're just 25 now, are you?
I wish I was.
Great to be here, and nice to see a young referee out there refereeing these young lads.
Absolutely, and well spotted, and it's really important to acknowledge refereeing, and in particular young referees coming into the whole organisation. On a day like today, it's very special for him. We're always encouraging within our own county referees, young referees, and let's call a spade a spade. If you don't have referees, you simply don't have games.
And he's Roscommon, you think?
So I believe.
Okay, fair play. Well, he's out there in the middle ready to run this game, and the referee in the last game was terrific, so I'm sure he'll be the same in this game. So Kevin is with me now. We have Tipperary against Galway, same as last year. Looking forward to a great game here, and this is the top level, so we're expecting some fabulous teams and play here today, and it's been a great competition. The whole scheme has been fantastic, Kevin. I mean, 38 teams in 30 counties. I mean, that is spreading the gospel, isn't it?
It really is, and there's huge credit due to this competition. It's a real ethos is around development, and none more so within these two teams here in the Division 1 final. It's all about development, and these players staying in a window of development at a very high level, and would have big ambitions within their own clubs or indeed their own counties in years to come.
I like the way you put that, staying in the window. So was there a danger that these sort of lads, they didn't maybe get on the top 15 in the county, which is obviously that's very, very hard to get, but if they weren't in the window, they would have been lost?
Absolutely, and I suppose it's not even in the top 15. You're talking about cohorts of young lads here that wouldn't even be in the top, that were not in the top 35, but they still have a brilliant opportunity to stay in that picture and obviously play at a high level at their grade.
And I'm looking out at the captains now. Well, that's actually the Tipperary squad out there with their management. John Connors, Bonnie Kennedy, Derek Hogan, Stephen Ahern, and the captains in the middle, and it's the number 6 for Galway. That's Carl Sweeney from Oranmore Marie, and number 11, Bobby Parr from Boherlan. Feel free, Kevin, to correct me in any of my pronunciations, but those two lads actually will be up against each other right there, and hopefully it will all be taken in the spirit of the competition. And that is the referee, by the way. Now, I don't think he was in the shot we were talking about earlier on, but that definitely is Matthew Farrell, 24 years old, so not much older than these two lads, but we are looking forward to a terrific game. It's a better pathway, it says in the programme, for 17-year-olds in the Tier 1 counties. That's what the focus is on. Let's focus on the teams now, and let's look at the Galway team first. And Kevin, you're the GM, the games manager for Tipperary, but you'll appreciate, I'm sure, the Galway lads as well, and maybe know something about them. Their captain, Carl Sweeney, is at number 6, and you have a big spread of counties, or clubs rather, within that county. You have Castlegar, we know from the Connellys, the famous Connellys, of course, but you have places like Portumna, which we know from the Cannings, but you have Ballinadoreen, and I can't even pronounce some of them too well. Killimer Daly, that might be 2 clubs joined together, and St Thomas's, Kinvara, Clarendon Bridge, and so on, all represented there, and it's good to get that spread, isn't it?
Absolutely. It shows again across the county the amount of clubs that are represented, very similar to our own. It's all about, I suppose, going through what's available at this level, and guys who are interested and want to keep themselves in the picture, I suppose, and that's what it's all about.
Absolutely, and it's also about bringing this game to you and making it available on a live stream. The live stream earlier on today had viewers from England, America and Australia, so let me know on the live chat there, and let me know where you're watching the game from, or anything and any way you want to connect with us. We have a good number of people watching on there, and already someone is asking, are there team sheets available? Well, there's the Galway team. Now let's look at the Tipperary team. So you see, we're responding to your messages on the live chat there, so feel free to keep them coming. Tipperary now, I am actually going to make news of one change, and then I'm going to leave the rest to Kevin to tell us who we should log out for. So 13, Ben Kirby has been replaced at the last minute by number 20, Sam Dooley, from just down the road here, Russ Cray. So Kevin, take it away. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, I suppose you mentioned Ben there. Obviously Ben picked up an injury during the week, and it's probably disappointing for him, and as you said, Sam comes in, and obviously Sam will be able to step up and offer, I suppose in particular, bring his own pace to the game today. But I suppose looking through our own team, Obviously from Jake in goal, obviously Jake's puckouts today will be crucial. I think he's a very good keeper, a good shot stopper, but in particular his puckouts are very good and a lot of experience for a young man. Full back line there with Charlie, Connor and Cahill. Again, good man markers, I say you would describe him, with a good bit of pace tied in between the three of them as well. At 6, Darrell Anders is a real leader within the team, as is 5 and 7. He's ably looked after beside him in both sides. Brian Manton in particular are a real good guy to watch from this perspective. Again, Keane will always give it 100% on any given day. Middle of the field, Billy and Michael, two mobile, versatile players, really good on breaks, and you'd be hoping they'd bring that type of a game with them today. Across the half-hour line then, obviously, we'd have Tristan there, in particular at 12. I suppose a big ball winner. Bobby Power and Kieran O'Shea ball winners as well in that half-hour line. I suppose inside in the full line then, Cormac Fitzpatrick at 14. There's a guy now that would... a guy, if he gets going today, I think he'll have a big impact on the game. We'd be hoping, obviously, as I said at the outset, we have young Sam coming in, bringing pace, and obviously more pace beside him then at 15, and Tom. So two of those, young Delaney, two of those are very similar types of player. I think they'll be looking at a lot of pace, but don't be surprised if you see a lot of moving around and shaking here in the first couple of minutes, because I expect things will change in relation to lineouts.
And will some of these lads have played in the game last year?
No.
Total change from last year.
Total change, yeah.
That's the way the competition rocks.
Correct.
So it's that year of a difference, and it is such a year of a difference at that age, from 17 to 18. We saw that with the changes in the minor competitions and that, so it's great that these lads, and in the past, of course, it might have been an in-between year, so it's very important that it's a fresh group each year.
Fresh group each year, exactly, and I suppose, as we said, the development and the ethos of it is that new players come in every year and they have a chance to showcase on big days. Here in Birr, fantastic day, great facility, great atmosphere here, and a good old crowd after coming in as well.
There really is. I mean, there's a bigger crowd than was here for the first game, and a few of them might have stayed, but where else would you be? And it's beautiful, it's in the shade here as well. I'm happy to be in it. It's going to be tough going for the players out there, but all sorts of young people here as well. It's not just sort of the mums and dads. There's lots of people here to enjoy this game, and a few people, and maybe a few guys who played in the first game. So we're looking forward to a real exhibition, but it's going to be tough out there for these lads. We're going to have a Ron the Vein now in the next couple of seconds, and then we will be underway.
On your remote control, there's a back arrow. Press that. Go back. Keep pressing it. Keep pressing it.
We hope you enjoyed that. We always love putting out a special microphone to capture the anthem for you, and that really captured it nicely, and the atmosphere indeed in the crowd. You can't see it so much in the shots here, but there is a good crowd here, and we have viewers from all over the world. We already have Niamh Callanan from Boston shouting loudly for Tom Fahey and the boys. Let's go Galway. The both teams have a great game. Niamh, great to have you with us there from Massachusetts. Fair play to you, and we are now ready, and it is indeed the 24-year-old referee Matthew Farrell who gets us underway, and it's Galway with the first attack of the game. Nice bit of skill there and a bit of a high hook coming in there, but the referee gives good advantage, and it's Galway's number 14, Jake Keady from Oranmore Marie setting up that one, but it's gone to the right and wide with a good few wides in the first game in the first 15 minutes, and then the players settled down and put on a real exhibition. It was fantastic hurling, and if you can't play hurling on this pitch, well then you can't play hurling. And the ball, it's one of those, is it a luminous green one that you would usually use under lights, but it certainly makes it easy to spot out here. Not that it's a problem in the beautiful sunshine here. Nice block down by the Galway number 7 there, Owen Spellman. And it's the other number 7 involved now. That's Cian Moyles from Kilruan for Tipperary. As Galway try to press again around the middle. Referee again plays advantage. Go on ahead, he says, and they pop it in to Cillian Fahey. And is that the first score of the game? It is. It's taken just exactly 1 minute and 2 seconds, but it's Galway on the board. And already, Kevin, you can see there's an intensity about this game and a high level of skill.
There is, absolutely, and the off-the-shoulder running from Galway is very impressive, and I was interested to see the way they're moving their full forward, number 14, out the field to create space inside, and he's actually creating problems. He's leaving a lot of room and runners coming off the shoulders. Yeah,
we saw that in the first game. The number 14 ended up at right half forward and left a bit of room inside there as well. And that's going to be a free out for Tipperary. So Tips management will be keeping an eye on that one, I guess, Kevin, from the far side, and they'll be taking notes in the first few minutes, the way things are going to line out.
Absolutely, and I know Jake Keady's a fine player. He's a well-known player as well, especially throughout the academies over the years, and I know the lads will probably be aware of his presence on any team.
And is it man-on-man from what you see so far?
It seems to be. It seems to be man-on-man, except for a bit of movement around, I suppose.
And that number 14 you mentioned, Keady's, well, I thought he was going into a more traditional position, but he does like to come out around the 45, doesn't he? But he's heading in there now, and his height will be a threat in there from a free like this.
It's interesting with Tip there. They seem to be dropping Cillian Fahey 11 a bit deep, and I suppose he's trying to protect his own D as well. So it'll be interesting to see how Galway are going to combat that.
Yeah, he's not been picked up, and I see one of the Galway players pointing over and say, who's got him? And he's directing Cal Sweeney, the Galway captain, to go over and just make sure as the goalkeeper comes out for Galway, and that is Harry Mitchell. Oh, he gave that everything, didn't he? And he might even have got it over the bar. Oh, he has, just about. He needed to give it everything, and he did. From Padraig Pearce's Harry Mitchell with the first score of the game for Galway.
I'll tell you, when he was on a mission, I saw him coming out. It was his ball. He was going taking that free, and I tell you, he knew exactly what he was doing from their own half back line over the bar. Well done.
I know, and when he struck it, I think he was off the ground. He was in the air, you know. He give it that much. He give it the full welly. 1 point to no score, and that was the full welly as well. But I'm afraid the right half back Tom Fahey felt that one, and the referee coming over now, but accidental collision.
Yeah, accidental collision. Two lads were fully committed for the ball. I think the number 5 from Galway, Tom, came out a little bit on the worse for wear, but I don't think he's too bad. I'd say it's more winded.
Yeah, he'll be all right in a minute. Yeah, a little bit of magic water. In fact, I'm not even sure they has the water. Now the water's arriving now, and whatever else they need. On the live chat then on YouTube, feel free to leave messages there for me. We've already had Neve from Boston, and Patrick Burns says come on the Premier, and Emer Burke says best of luck to Galway. So good crowd online for this game, and the sun is just going in behind a cloud at the minute. I'd say the players are quite happy with that, as Tipperary prepare to hopefully equalise from their point of view. And number 14 Cormac Fitzpatrick from Drummond-Inch looks like he's going to be the man to take this in. Indeed, the Galway man is okay, Tom Fahey. He goes back to defend, and Cormac now prepares just inside the sideline, and he's not, I think, going for his own score. That has just been lobbed in there, and Mitchell comes out, the goalkeeper. He's not the tallest, but he came out there, didn't he, claiming that one, as you said before. He comes out with intent, whether it's to score or to block. Good responsibility taken by the goalkeeper. You like to see that, and that's another wide. Remains 1 point and no score, but this keeper has already been the man of the first 5 minutes.
He has indeed, and he's a fine puck out as well, I have to say, and he's
quite,
goodness,
yeah.
for not a big unit inside in the goal. I'll tell you one thing, he's a huge presence.
Well, that's why he's up taking the frees too, because do you know the previous game the puck outs were landing around here, and that was a good 10-15 metres on. Now this is the wing back Owen Spellman. Centre half forward is Cillian Fahey, and is that a second score? The flag is going to go up, 2 points to nil for Galway, and nicely taken score, isn't it?
Absolutely, and I think from a Tip perspective, when they're struggling a small bit in their half forward line, and particularly on primary ball, they need to start getting their hands on ball from their own puck outs.
That one batted down though, and it's Galway as if they planned that one. They knew exactly what was going to happen there. They knitted that together perfectly, or maybe it was just a little bit fortunate, but either way it's ended up with a 3rd point, and Owen Earls has got it. 3-0 after 6 minutes, and impressive play from Galway.
Yes, impressive play, and a lot of work rate around the middle third, so Tip's work rate will have to up, because before they know it, they could be going a 6 down.
Well, that puck out was shorter but much more accurate to Brian Manton, man from Cashel. So Jake Hackett picked him out really well there, and that's why the ball is now up the field.
You've been very impressed with Galway's their half back line, in particular on midfield unit. They're working really well together. When they're not winning primary ball, they're very good on the breaks around the middle third.
They really are. Now that ball nearly went all the way through, but good defending, and immediately his head was up wanting to put it into space in that left corner diagonally, which is a bit of a nightmare at times for defenders. But Conor Gleeson has done well. Well, he sort of did well. He got there first but wasn't able to keep it in.
Yeah, and good intelligent reader of the ball. To be fair to Conor Gleeson, he's a good hurler, so you're just unlucky he went over the line to finish.
Good connection now. Look, you could see what he was trying to do. He was trying to pick out Ian Ward. Didn't, but Dara Kearney picked up the pieces from Clarenbridge and swept it over the bar, 4 points to 0, and they're just working a little bit slicker and they're doing everything a little bit faster, aren't they?
They are indeed. Tip are a bit stuck in the headlights at the moment. They need to up the pace. In fairness to Galway, they've had a great start and they're really making hay now. They're really moving well.
Yeah, they're picking up all the breaks as well.
Absolutely.
And they seem to be quickest to everything that's dropping in and around there. But this is better for Tip. But at this level, these games can change quickly. They just need to settle a little bit, Tipperary.
Yeah.
And that was Manton swinging it and giving the diagonal pass at the other end and giving it out to Fitzpatrick. And he weaves his way in. He's got advantage. Is he going to take it? Is he going to need it? He's still going. And the referee takes down his hand. Ball goes over the bar. Well, that's exactly what they needed.
Yeah, I said at the outset when we were going through the teams, Fitzpatrick is a big player for this team. I'd be hoping now they can get plenty of service into him. But in fairness, our number 12, Tristan Kelly, is really stepping up and trying to get the boys going, to be fair, at half forward.
That was too easy for Killian Fahy. He did brilliantly, but there was no pressure at all on him. So easy from the puck out. Nobody near him, and it's ended in a wide. And Tip got off the hook a little bit there, but very loose.
Yeah, quite loose. And Donica Ganley inside in the corner there, he has pace to burn. And I tell you, they'll have to just try and tighten it up a little, Linder.
You hear the clash of the ash. That again, everybody just giving everything out there. This is Dara Kearney again in the red helmet and the bright yellow boots for Galway. And this is O'Brien, Ethan O'Brien from Turlamore. He's still going. That's lovely skill, and just spins around his hurl to try and get the connection, but puts it wide. And it's 5 points to 1 after a lively first 8.5 minutes. Now the goalkeeper has gone to this man twice, and Brian Manton is on hand, and that has worked for them twice. So they've got the ball up the field and they bypassed the Galway midfield and half-backs there, but Galway still managed to get it away, and the referee has pulled that back for an infringement there. But yeah, it seems to work for Tip when they go a little bit shorter there on the puckouts.
Well, I suppose they've realised that I suppose their in-game management, they've realised that their puckouts are being completely nullified in the long puck out. We're probably not winning the aerial battle or the breaks at the moment, so they're probably trying to vary it up a small bit and trying to go short and maybe bypass that half back line that Galway are so dominant with at the moment.
I'd say Kearney, though, at number 12 would be told, don't let that happen again.
Well, I'd say
that's happened twice, and his man's got it twice. But he's been all over the field. He's been busy going forward, but he needs to do the defensive bit too.
Yeah, he has. In fairness, young Manton he's a fine hurler as well, and I suppose when he sees his chance, he'll take it.
Puck out from Jake Hackett from Tumivara, right around the middle. Don't think the wind is really having much of an effect. The flag is not moving much over that side. It picks up now and again, but nothing to speak of. Galway looking for a 6th point, but actually that's going to drop in a one-on-one, and there's a chance here for Callum Keane from Portumna. And I thought he had it. He nearly had it. Clear though. Pressure again, as Kevin Hawley was saying there, by the Galway halfback in midfield. They work so hard and they get in and around, and they're nullifying Tipperary in this sort of area a lot of the time, and usually coming away with the ball, and they do in this case again. Ian Ward from Crowell doing superbly there. He persisted, and there's that one-on-one that's been left in there every time, but it goes through to the goalkeeper, and he needed to be smart, and he was. But Tip riding their luck a little bit at the back there, and now the fullback loses his hurl, Conor Gleeson, but this is nicely played through the middle, and this is the number 20 Sam Dooley from Ruscrea. Lovely little turn from him, drop of the shoulder, and that's much better for Tipperary. He is a skillful little player, but well worked all the way from the back.
Absolutely, that's the impressive thing with that score. There were 3 or 4 boys on the ball there, straight from the full back, straight up to Sam.
There he is again.
Sam has justified his inclusion here now.
Is Dooley not an awfully name, though?
Well, I suppose it is. I suppose we've
famously.
Exactly. You can be well sure they're all over the country, doolies.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. I think it
tradition in Offaly, to be fair, great hurlers.
There's something that sparks fear in the back of the mind of anybody from the north and from Antrim and Dunloy when they hear the name Dooley. It just brings back memories.
You'd never know. There could be a relation. You wouldn't know.
That's true. It's 5 points to 2 then. The Tip have done well to come back into it, and this should be 5-3. I say should, but it's a fair distance out. But he's well capable, and he's put it over. 2 point game.
Yeah, I think the game has settled down a little bit now and is getting more into the rhythm of a final, and I think it'll be interesting to see how the next 10 minutes go now, because I think Tip have settled into it now. Galway are moving well, but Tip are starting to get back into it and find their groove a little.
Absolutely, as you see from that little example there, they were quickest when the ball came down and they had support and they were immediately going off. And Galway went long with that puck out, although, well, I'll come back to my point. I'll just stay with the play for a moment as it comes back to Cian Moyles. Good work by Ward again. He's been excellent, isn't he?
Absolutely.
Is a real hard worker in there, and then he just says to the forwards, well, you do the rest. He gives it into Ganley. Now, Cahill England is there for company with him, and Tip trying to overturn it, but it's a free in. Yeah, my point was, Kevin, that from the puck out at the other end for Galway, their number 5, actually, Tom Fahey, was hugging the touchline here and nobody near him. So maybe they should do what happened on the other side and just pick him out and go a little bit shorter. It's not always about distance.
Absolutely not. I suppose in the modern game it's all about keep ball and trying to work the ball as best you can. And I think Tip have got themselves 3 on the scoreboard by actually going short, and that's another one now for Galway on the free.
Yeah, working it through the lines.
Working it through the lines, exactly. But I tell you, I am very impressed with Ian Ward in the middle of the field. His work rate is fantastic, and I have to say, his hooking and his blocking count is it's really good at the moment. It's creating a lot of problems for that Tip in middle third.
It's all about the break so far, isn't it, when the ball goes in the middle, isn't it? And the man there, Dara Kearney, was onto that one, and that's why Killian Fahey now has a chance. He's put that very high, and it might be just to the right, is it? The umpires didn't look sure. One looked at the other and they went, nope.
No, he was unlucky, but his movement is very good. The movement is actually very good with the Galway forwards. They're dragging the Tip backs all over the place.
But it's the break, isn't it? We'll see if we do the break again. And actually, he's just directed that try. Oh, it's well intercepted, and it is Kearney. Well, I was saying he needed to watch and not let Tip get out so easily again, and he didn't. To be fair, he intercepted that one. Batted down. Who's going to get on it first? It seems to be all about who gets there first, and it is that man.
It's Ward again.
It sure is. And that could be over. You know, if it's got the distance. I don't think it has. It was certainly accurate. Fullback is Conor Gleeson. He's got support there if he needs from Charlie Ryan, but he's under serious pressure. Ryan comes to the rescue and does well. As well to spin back up onto his feet. Michael Ryan is number 8. This is turning into a really good contest because Owen Spellman there, and that diagonal ball, well watched by England. And manages to clear his lines easily. He could have been blocked there, but he wasn't. Bobby Power, the number 11, the captain. Look at the pressure all over the place. This might be a thing we see a lot in the first 15 minutes. We're just coming up to the quarter, but the intensity is certainly there from both sides. Not much room out there. When you get the ball, there's 1 or 2 men on you. So it's about keeping your head and keeping cool. But yeah, intense play, as you'd expect.
Absolutely, and I have to say there's a right battle going on inside in the full back line, the full forward line for Tip and Galway, and particularly in the 2 corners. Cahill England there at number 2. I tell you, he's his hands full over there with Donny Ganley. There's a fair battle going on, and the 2 of them, actually, to look at them, they're very similar looking hurlers, to be fair, and they both are full of speed and pace.
Absolutely. It's a good battle between the 2 of them. Now, where's this going? Should be just over the bar, and indeed it is. Another point for Galway. 15 minutes, 20 seconds gone. No goals as yet. Jake Hackett seems to favour that area around the middle when he goes long. But again, Galway in there to try and get the break. Battling again. Number 10, it's Ethan O'Brien. That's good work by Tom Delaney. Puts it right down into the corner, but a little bit too far. Trying to get it into the forwards. under pressure, and that means you don't always get the accuracy, and it's tricky for the forwards.
It
Need
is
good ball.
It is, and I think Tip seem to have brought Tom Delaney a little bit deeper out the field, maybe trying to get him onto the ball now and get him settled into the game. So it's good to see him getting up and getting going now.
Snatched out of the air by the big number 14, Keady. And he's still going. It's great work. Bit of support there if he needs. Referee gave him advantage and then brought it back, but good individual play.
Yeah, Keady's a handful. He's a big unit as well, and he takes on the ball. He's a hard man to stop, and to be fair to him, he has the skills to back it up, and he's after drawing a foul there, and has probably another fairly handy tap over for Galway, so Tip are going to have to watch that free count.
Yeah, well, it's gone from 5-3 to probably 8-3 now. You have to remind yourself sometimes, Kevin, I'm sure you're the same, that these boys are under 17.
Yeah, it's amazing, I suppose, the level of skills and physicality that are coming into the modern game now, and particularly, I suppose, they're used to the ball as well, and it's probably the physicality of winning tackles and everything is really to the fore, and I suppose that's really shown in an underage setup here today as well, as regards how the game has manifested and developed over the years.
A little bit of room there for Michael Ryan. Gives it to Cian Moyes. And they're looking for that ball inside again, but the Galway full back line are doing brilliantly. You praised the half back line and the midfield, but the full back line has been very tight as well. Now this ball looking for the big full forward again, doesn't stick this time. Good work in defence there that time by Gleeson to make sure that he didn't get clean possession. So Tipperary now down the left, they don't get there.
Yeah, you mentioned the Galway full back line there. They're really effective. They're doing the simple things really right. They're attacking the ball. They're intercepting the ball. They're not letting the Tip lads get a hand on the ball, and their delivery is quite good out the field. Their use of the ball is quite good, Galway.
But the ball in has to be good too, because forwards can look as if they're not even trying, but the ball can be fired at them or over their heads, and they've no chance. Yeah,
I see Tip now are trying to probably do a straight line formation within reason. They're trying to leave space in the wings and probably maybe hit the space, not the face, and I think they need to do that more, because this ball, this 50-50 ball going in, is just not working for them. They're going to have to try and get it into space and try and play off winning ball clean, as opposed to try and get into the battle for it.
Yeah, well, when they got their scores, they did work it through. I see a sort of a sweeper, maybe it's just this example, but number 6 there, Cal Sweeney, seemed to drop in there as an extra player for Galway in defence. That's probably helping them too. Full forward is Cormac Fitzpatrick as they try to engineer something, but look at the tackling from Galway. 3-4 players there, Tom Delaney involved, and they are persisting, and eventually now Fitzpatrick, he's been forced out to a really difficult angle, but it didn't stop him. Really good score, but it shows the way the game is going. They're having to take their scores from really bad angles.
They are, and I think Tipperary have been a little bit more tactical now in relation from their forwards perspective. They are bringing their centre forward a little deeper, and 6 is sitting, and 6 got a little bit caught there. He was kind of caught in no man's land effectively, and Fitzpatrick took a nice score.
He did indeed, but they were very patient, to be fair, and they took it well. That's snatched out of the air beautifully by Rhys Creevan from Castlegar, and as it ended up in a score, well, look how quickly they punish you, Kevin.
No, you have to compliment. I mean, when you see Rhys Creevan, number 4, coming up, that can be a bit of a sucker blow when a cornerback goes up and take a point, and you have to hand it him there when his chance came, he took it.
Yeah, one loose ball and bang.
Yes.
It's over the bar within seconds. That can take the heart out of you a little bit.
We spoke about the modern game. You see cornerbacks come up and take a score so simple as well. It just goes to show you have to be able to hurl all over the field now. Score could be on here.
Could be, and is it Fitzpatrick again? It is. But yeah, going back to your point, I mean, surely it's a killer if you're a forward and your man goes up and gets a point at the other end.
Absolutely. I mean, sure, you see it when a young lad or any player on any team goes up and from the full back line scores a goal. It is a bit of a sucker punch, but to be fair to Tip, they've answered it well now. They've one score gone over the bar, and another one.
Well, their go-to man seems to be Fitzpatrick,
correct,
isn't it?
Yeah.
He's certainly one that they want to get in the game as much as possible, and maybe that's why they've brought the other fellow out as well. They've left 2 in there, so there's more room for it. Fahy, Killian Fahy. It's good work by Brian Manton. And good clearance as well. He got good distance on that, but Tom Fahy is under it.
Yeah.
Gets his free.
A simple, just caught the hurley, but more out of frustration than anything, I think.
Yeah. Galway just on top, aren't they? I mean, obviously on the scoreboard they're 5 points up, but they just seem to be that bit sharper in most areas.
And they are, and to be fair to Galway, they're justifiably 5 points up. They've done a lot of the hurling here, but the next the next number of scores will be important before half time for whatever team, but number 6 is cleaning an awful lot of ball.
Yeah, I was wondering was it man on man. They seem to have gone sweeper in there now, and now it was a great catch by Charlie Ryan, but he played it right down the throat of the sweeper.
Absolutely, and look, with Cathal Sweeney there, it looks like he's quite experienced at playing that position, and Tip had brought out Bobby Power out around the middle third, out deeper, and I suppose from our lads and Tipperary's perspective, I suppose they'll have to try and combat that half back line, because 6 is just sweeping up everything. They will have to go in over the top. If they are going to bring out 11 deep, they'll either have to play it through the lines or put it over that half back line, because at the moment their half back line for Galway is just picking up an awful lot of ball.
Yeah, because they've spotted that and they've thought, well, they're trying to go to Fitzpatrick every time, so you veer over there and just cut out that.
He's effectively sweeping in front of him now, yeah.
I think we have an unofficial water break.
And which is only right, to be fair to him. They've
yeah, you're going for
a
go for a drink yourself.
yeah.
It's tough going.
It is.
Referee going over to have a word with a few of the officials.
I think he's going for water himself, is
he? No, I don't think he's laying down the law. I think. Yeah, he is, yeah. He's only 24. He doesn't need water. It's a free for Tipperary. 9-4. They could do the wee score here. It was 5-3. It's now gone out to 9-4. We are on YouTube, the official GAA YouTube channel. As that one goes wide, feel free to leave a comment there in the live chat. I'd be interested to know where you're watching the game from, or what your connection with it is, or even what you think of the standard here of or even the development that is the Celtic Challenge. 30 counties involved in the competitions. That's some going. Now that's high up into the beautiful blue sky, and it drops, and there could be a goal here. No, he's going to take his point wisely. Kearney, he just pirouetted there, found a little bit of space, and the man from Clarenbridge stretches it out to 10-4.
Yeah, and a very intelligent puck out from the Galway keeper, to be fair. He took his time, he analysed it. Galway created an awful lot of space in the puck out. He found 6 free, hit him right in the hand, and bang, inside and straight over the bar.
Oh, brilliantly taken. This fella again, Fitzpatrick from Drummond Inch. He is the man. They're not giving him an inch, but he's still very good. And that's a brilliant ball inside to Dooley. Goal chance here. He's got it. He caught it rather than hit it first time, and that was a good decision, because Kieran O'Shea has scored the first goal of the game, and that makes it very, very interesting. It all started with that man Fitzpatrick. He is the go-to man, and this time he was the provider.
Yeah, very impressive, to be fair. He peeled off, got primary ball, but the intelligence to see the runner going over the shoulder, Noel McGrath style, and found him perfectly. But what if we ever saw, I suppose, wrist on a young upcoming hurler, you have to say it there. His control of that ball in the flight, he was one-footed and into the hand and bang in the back of the net, and Tip needed that, so that could give this a fair injection into this competition now.
And it'll give them confidence too, because you just sort of felt they were struggling a little bit. Now the crowd are getting behind them as well, and there's a bit of a lift every time they get the ball. And this fella must be thinking he can do no wrong. Look, he's turning one way and the other way, and he's just enjoying himself and feeling that I am invincible here almost.
It is, and the interesting thing, when Fitzpatrick has come a bit deep, I think he's after bringing the full back out of his comfort zone, and I think Fitzpatrick could have found a little bit of a niche area in the field to win primary ball.
Do you mean deep? He's sort of gone over to the left a bit.
Yeah. I would say that's a good score from Galway now to combat that goal. But it's interesting when Fitzpatrick finds himself out of the D. I think the full back is probably a little bit out of his comfort zone. So it'll be interesting to see how this works over the next couple of balls going in.
They've gone to Manton again. This time it hasn't worked, and they might capitalise. It was great work by Donncha Ganley at 15, and Katie put it over. And I was saying earlier, they can't let that happen again, and they sure didn't. They penalised it.
No, and 14, as I said, as well out the field now. He's finding himself out around the middle of the field nearly. So he's a big unit, and when he gets on ball, he's very intelligent on the ball. It's either a score or he makes a good pass.
So Galway, good response from them. It's now gone 12-1-5. So 4-point game.
Very good response from Galway, as you said.
That's good distance, good height. Oh my goodness, what a catch by O'Shea. Now, the finish didn't match it, but we've seen some great leaps and some great athletic, acrobatic, dramatic fielding of the ball.
Yes, and Kieran, after getting that goal, he's really after finding his confidence now, and he's moving well.
Yeah. And it is a lot about confidence at this level. Now, that ball there is down the throat again for Galway. A little bit easy
Yeah.
for them, too easy. Can't waste those as the sun comes out in St Brendan's Park in Birr in this beautiful end of May Saturday afternoon. It's the Electric Ireland Celtic Challenge final for the Corn Michael Hogan. 26 minutes gone. Galway leading, but Tipperary have that goal threat, and there is that sweeper again just sitting in there, Carl Sweeney, and he's just taken possession too easily for Tipperary's liking. But I think Tipperary are persistent because they know if he gets to Fitzpatrick, he can take on 1 or 2 or even 3 men.
Yeah, 6 is clean and a lot of ball, the long ball in. I think the ball distribution from the Tipperary half backline will have to improve. They'll have to play head up hurling or else go short, because at the moment they're just giving away too much primary ball.
Yeah, there's a lot more variety to the Galway attack. Their scores can come from just about anywhere, and you saw that there almost. And now a score will come surely from Ganley, and it does. They just seem to have more options, and they're not as predictable.
Yeah, great wrist from Ganley there into the hand, bang over the bar. Even though the challenge was coming in very close, he had milliseconds and put it straight over the black spot.
The out ball again has come down this left-hand side, and this is Kieran O'Shea, as you said. He's playing with confidence. He got that great goal, and he's off looking for another one, and he'll get a free at least. And they had to bring him down, and they did. On the live chat on YouTube, we welcome some viewers from the Dublin pub in Portland, Oregon, in the United States. And an interesting comments come in about what we were talking about, Kevin. Is it a good idea for the development of backs to be playing a sweeper? Would they not be better off learning to take their own man on? Or is it maybe, and I'm going to add this, but is it just the coach's natural inclination to go, we need to shore up a bit here, there's a danger man there?
Well, you don't know. Effectively, this could be this could go on organically within the game situation. 11 could have put out deep, and it just depends, because if you look at it there now, it's very hard to say if there is a sweeper there or not, because it just keeps changing. But I suppose from a game perspective, you spoke about the word development. Development is probably trying to prepare players to perform in the storm, and no much more than the storm here today. Whatever happens will happen on any given day. It's about being prepared and developed to be able to deal with it, whether you're Galway or whether you're Tipperary.
So maybe it was the captain taking responsibility on the field and showing, well, I need to go over here, there's a threat here.
Well, if Galway's number 6 there, number 6, Carl Sweeney, I should say, if he is 6, I'll tell you, or if he is sweeping, he's coming onto a hell of a lot of ball. So Tipperary will probably have to go back and tighten on him.
And there is the big number 14, Jack Keady again from Owen Moore-Marie. And he's having a great day and he's enjoying himself out there. And as I say, there's just more options when Galway go forward, and it's not as predictable. And their scores are coming from all over the forwards and indeed further out than that. And they're having a lot of joy, and they've now stretched the game out again.
They have, and I tell you, Galway's Cathal Sweeney and indeed 14, Jack Keady, 6 and 14 are having a huge bearing on this game.
Yeah, and it's that connection, isn't it? That supply line there. They're cutting off the supply line at one end, and they're Tipperary going to this again. And I see the number 4 is trying his best there, Craven, but I don't know if anyone can stop this guy the way he's playing today. It's a one-man show for him up there, but he's brilliant.
Absolutely, he's probably keeping the Tipperary attack going at the moment, to be fair to him, on the inside line, and when ball gets to him and when it does stick, he's really dangerous. And to be fair to Fitzpatrick, he's really shown it today. Yeah,
I love the way he wins the ball, you know, and makes it good. I mean, sometimes he's been marked really tight, but he's really tenacious there and quick. Oh, hold on, this is Tipperary going through the middle. Chance here, and it is Bobby Parr, and that should just go over, does it? Oh, keeper kept it in, but he lost track of it there for a second, and then recovered, and does well to get it to Craven.
Yeah, and the first time in a while, Tip went kind of short through the lines, and 6, Galway was centre back, was sitting a bit too deep there, and Bobby got it into hand, turned nearly over the bar, but it's just to show Tip will have to do more of that if they want to keep this scoreboard ticking over.
And was that space created maybe because Cathal Sweeney had maybe left that area a little bit?
Absolutely, yeah, and I think, to be fair to Galway, they're gone a little bit. I suppose they're worried about the Tipperary inside line there, particularly the full forward, and I think they're trying to provide as much cover as they can.
Yeah, but you can't cover everything. And I thought there maybe if the forward, if he had just maybe dropped the shoulder and come inside, there was a big space there.
Possibly, yeah, exactly.
So they could maybe capitalise on that, but that's maybe for later. Good sweeping in there by Charlie Ryan, the number 4 in there, but if they got it away, well, England comes to the rescue. We're in added time at the end of the first half. It's been a hugely enjoyable first half in the sunshine here in Birr 14 points to 1-7. Lots of great play and great individual play and team play and great scores. And there's another one. Brilliant score to end the half, and it's set up beautifully for the second half. I think the second half's going to be a cracker.
Absolutely, and I mentioned there about 10 minutes ago they brought Tom Delaney, the corner forward, out the field a bit to get onto ball, and in fairness to him, it is working. That was a great score by him.
So it's 14 points for Galway, 1-8 to Tipperary, just to confirm that for you. And that is it another score?
Yeah,
it is, you know, there's one every 20 seconds at this rate. And by the way, on the live chat there, Ollie Dolan reminds us that Jake Cady is Tony Cady's son.
Oh, very good. So the pedigree is
that explains
well
it.
there.
That explains a lot indeed, yeah.
No, I mentioned the inside forward line there for Galway. They're two corner forwards. I have to say they're very impressive. Loads of speed, but they can really back it up as well at their first touch. And one quick look at the post, bang over the bar. They are punishing any time they get the ball, to be fair to them.
You've enjoyed this half?
Absolutely, and you know what? It's actually quite. It's manifested into a really good competitive game. Tip a little bit slow to get going at the outset. In fairness to Galway, they came out all guns blazing. That possibly could be on the back of this final last year where Tipperary came out on top. Galway were a little bit slow to start last year and possibly could have were looking back on last year and said, you know what, we could have, if we pushed on early, we could have won it. And I think they learned from that last year. Came out with all guns blazing, took on Tip, asked loads of questions of him. But as the game took on, over a period of maybe 10-15 minutes, Tipperary came a little bit more back into it. And as you can see now, 1-8 to 15 points. But in fairness to Galway, they're well worth their 15 scores. And I suppose they have some very good individual performances, and particularly their goalie. You'd have to compliment him. He's well organised. He's very good on the puck house. Their six, in particular, Cathal Sweeney, he's leading by example as a captain. And I think Derek Carney and indeed Jack Heady, they're shown. And I also mentioned their inside line, their two corners, young Keane, Callum Keane, and the other number 15, Donny Ganley. They've been quite impressive on the Tip side of it. You look at a couple of individual performances. I thought Brian Manton in the half-back line is doing well. Conor Gleeson at 3. Good battles going on in the cornerbacks as well. Suppose around the middle of the field, you're looking at Bobby Power going into that area, working hard. We spoke about young Delaney coming out and trying to get on the ball, and in the man inside, Cormac Fitzpatrick is the guy, I suppose, from Tipperary. He's keeping them in it, and I suppose we'd also mention Kieran O'Shea. Those two guys, they've really stepped up there as that half went on and grew into the game more and more. So let's hope that this second half can be as good a context as we saw in the first. 4
points in it then at half time, but Tipperary will have a bit of a breeze, and I can see there is a bit of a breeze now looking at the tricolour on the far side. So beautifully poised. We're watching now everyone out there at half time enjoying getting out on this beautiful surface here in St Brendan's Park as well, and young people out there enjoying that as well. And why not? It's a great sight. It's a great day. We'll be back in about 5 or 6 minutes with the second half. No changes on either side. They've all had a good break in there in the dressing rooms. Bit of water. It's hot out there, so you can understand that. Tipperary looking to get on the first attack. Billy Collins from Balna goes for a score actually from quite a distance and doesn't get it. Goes to the left, but bit of intent there at the second half, Kevin Holly.
Yeah, he really went for that. He attacked the ball, won it well, took it on probably a little bit more time than he realised, and maybe pulled the trigger a little too early.
Beautifully taken by Callum Keane though there, and he bats it to the ground, keeps going in the red helmet. And he's gone left as well? He's gone wide too.
Similar.
Yep. Remains 15-1. He had 4 points down then, Tipperary. All to do in the second half, but they're well capable of it. And of course there are 2 sets of strong benches as well. Here's Keady. Nice bit of skill to get round his man. They're having a great battle. And now on his left side, if that goes over, he's unlucky, you know. He really is a quality act.
Absolutely, and they're persistent bringing Keady well out the field. He's getting onto a lot of ball and doing a lot of damage.
But what do you do with him, Kevin? You know, I mean, obviously Brian Manton is a quality player and he's done well on him.
Yeah, well, I suppose it's trying to, meet the physicality of him. He's a big, strong man. He's always asking questions. He takes you on. So I suppose it's trying to stand him up as best they can, really, you know, because he's trying to break the tackle all the time.
Lovely ball from O'Shea into par, but intercepted as Galway snuff out that attack and get a free out as well.
Yeah, hand on the back. I suppose he was a little unlucky, but the referee was right. He called it right.
This is a great game. I'm really enjoying not just the sunshine here, but the quality of the hurling and just the whole ethos, as you put it, of this competition. Big crowd here, and like it's great to see. And it, you know, hurling. I know it's a cliche, but a hurling has to be the winner here.
Absolutely, and you can see out there it is. The young lads are really going for it and they're really enjoying it, and it's a great game. That
goalkeeper you picked out a few times, he loves driving it deep, and he did. But Tipperary's defence standing firm. Charlie Ryan, and now it's cleared. It really is end to end, and that's what you want to see. Batted down beautifully there by Owen Spellman.
Very well done by Owen Spellman. He watched the ball all the time,
and he knew where his teammate was as well, and found him. But there's another wide.
Oh, he's unlucky. And look, Tipper probably lucky. The couple of wides Galway are hitting here now because they put fair daylight between them if they were going over the bar. Again, the Galway half-back line have restarted the second half, how they finished the first. They're a good, powerful side in the air, and they're really contesting that aerial battle with them, you know.
Referee has just shown a yellow card to the Tipperary number 9, Billy Collins. And the ball has come out around the middle of the field. Or is it a 65? No, it's a free just outside the 65. I don't remember what happened there.
I'd say the ref must have brought it back for something happened, infringement there. The yellow was given out for Billy.
And it means that Killian Fahy from Padraig Pearses has this chance. Drills it low, but just high enough to get over the bar for the first score of the second half, and it stretches Galway's lead to 5.
Yeah, so Tipple has to be careful here now, keep the discipline, keep themselves in the game, and try and get the next score or two just to nullify the purple patch Galway are in here again. Good
pressure from Ethan O'Brien. But Tipperary's number 7, Cian Moyles, does well, but that was tight. They decided not to go long that time and just about got away with it.
Yeah, Cian Moyles did well there, to be fair, and he took on the ball, broke that tackle. I was a little bit worried.
Oh, hold on, it's dropped into Cormac Fitzpatrick, the danger man again. Well, as soon as he gets it, it's over the bar before you've hardly said his full name.
Absolutely, he just really has an eye for a goal, and in fairness to him, a guy for the goals, and today he's really proven it.
I'm just watching off camera the last couple of minutes or so as well, Kevin, and it looks like Galway are deploying the number 6, Carl Sweeney, as a sweeper in there. That was actually going to man-to-man now because the ball's further out the field, but he certainly likes staying away. He reads the game really well.
Yeah, I think, believe it or not, Tip could even have more of a goal threat inside. So I think Galway are being cute. They're trying to nullify that goal threat because they'll probably know that Tip will need goals here to get themselves well back into contention. But there's a long game there yet. You wouldn't know what would happen. But in fairness, they're creating a lot of cover inside. The Galway fullback is getting a lot of cover outside him, and he's going to need it when you're trying to deal with Fitzpatrick today. He's on form.
16 points to 1-9, back to a 4-point game, and this an opportunity to make it 3.
And the man in question is out himself to hit it again.
I have a feeling this could go right down to the wire. You know, we're a big crowd here, are in for a thriller. 5 minutes into the second half, he doesn't miss much. Didn't miss that one.
Yeah, It's a good score. He's a good free taker. He's a very composed young hurler, and straight over the black spot.
Distance, the key with this puck out. Down and around the 45. Well defended again by Tipperary though. And it's the same lads. It's 4 and 7. Ryan and Moyles doing really well. And now they're looking for Fitzpatrick. That is the ball. That is the go-to all of the time. He's been shepherded by Craven, but that's easier said than done. And Fitzpatrick has a lot of tricks in his locker and just gives it out to Bobby Power. Oh, that's dangerous. I'm not sure whether he was going for a point or a goal or a pass there, but it ended up not really being any of the above. And that's going to be a free in. What did you see there, Kevin?
I think it was kind of a heavy tackle there with Sam Dooley, I think it was. Look, there wasn't, both players went for the ball, there was nothing malicious in it, it just got kind of an entanglement.
And before that, did you think he was going for a point and he just dropped it in there, or what was it?
I'd say he probably was going to put it over, got a little bit of a miss hit, and with a yellow given out there now.
Yeah, that's for Luca, not number 2, Luca Andrew from Kinvara.
And they're having a fair old battle himself. Luca over with
Tom Delaney.
Tipperary with Tom, exactly. And Tom is a little bit deeper now in the second half. He's inside in the corner. First half we saw him come a bit out the field. As the game goes on, it'll be interesting to see will they deploy the same tactic.
So 3 in it. Could go to 2 here if Cormac puts this over. He scored one from way out the other side. So he switched sides completely. Polar opposite on that left side, and arguably a better angle for him. Has he got it just inside, or is he just... He has, you know. He is having a fantastic, outstanding game for his team, and he is really their main reason for thinking they might just win this. But they are 2 points behind. They've reduced it from 5 to 2, so 3 in a row for Tip.
Tip are tipping away at their points, be it from play or from frees, and I think maybe Galway were a little bit more defensive and trying to create a lot of cover. Is that affecting them a little bit more out the field from the distribution in? I think Galway have pushed out a bit now, so I think they're going to try and take them on a bit more out the field in the middle third.
We are live on the official GAA YouTube channel. Feel free to go into the live chat area there at the bottom and leave a comment. We are 7 minutes into the second half of the 2023 Electric Ireland Celtic Challenge final. It's for the Corn Michael Hogan, and Tipperary are indeed tipping away, and they've tipped it back to a 1 point game. And I think it was Tom Delaney, was it, Kevin? Yeah,
Tom Delaney. And as I said, I'll go back to it. I think Galway are gone a bit too defensive. They're after dropping their centre back Cahill Sweeney a little bit too deep, possibly to create cover. That's the form Fitzpatrick is in, so it'll be interesting to see will they push out the centre back a bit more, or what's going to happen.
Well, we're in Birr and Offaly, and I'm sensing that there's a few more Tip followers here than Galway, because the noise has gone up in the crowd alongside us here, and they are fancying this one. But that could be a brilliant response, and it is from Callum Keane from Portumna. The Cannings would be happy with that one.
No, I'll tell you, there's times in the games when players have to step up and lay down a marker and keep themselves right well in the picture, and that was a real showcase of that. Callum Keane got it on the ball, turned bang over the bar, and I think Galway needed that just to settle them that little bit, because Tip had a little bit of a gander up there for a while, but Galway are well in this game and are well and truly on top, I suppose. But I suppose Tip are asking questions of him now, so it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next few minutes.
Yeah, good score from Keenan. He's playing out and around the 45. He's not playing as a traditional number 13. He's picking up ball there, and he glided that over effortlessly.
No, I'll tell you, it
makes it a 2 point.
Absolutely, and he's an effortless strike on him, and to be fair, he was on a mission there, even returned and bang, the hand was up in the air after he went over the bar. He really went for it and got a great score, and to be fair, it was a great answer to the bit of a purple patch Tipper in there now, so the game has kind of settled down again here now, and we have a free.
Now, I thought the referee was signalling there for a substitute. I don't think we had one, but I think we're going to have one in the next minute or so as that goes. Oh, keeper's dropped it down. It could end up in the net, though. They survived. Just. Oh, hold on. The referee is the umpire is actually signalling a point on that side. So the keeper must have brought it back over from it being over the crossbar, and now the referee has given it. That's an unusual one, although I'm sure you've seen it before, Kevin.
Yeah, I suppose in fairness to the referee, he listened to his officials there, and he made the right call.
But it's a dodgy one for the keeper. I mean, he thinks he's trying to save a point, but he could have ended up nearly conceding a goal.
Yeah, you'd have to have fair cover around you and be absolutely sure when you're bringing it down, you're able to bring it back under control and get the delivery away. But
Change for Galway there. Luca, who got the yellow card a minute ago, has been replaced. So we change for Galway. Sorry, going ahead.
It looks like Tipper warming up a player or two over as well. I don't know, it's an Adam O'Connell from Ballingarry, but I'd say Tipper will be making a substitution soon.
So it's Tip on the up. 17 plays 1-13. There's a point in it. This could be an equaliser. It's gone to the right and wide. 10 minutes into the second half, though. We have 20 minutes of top quality action to come.
Yeah, I think Bobby will be a little bit disappointed with that one. He's a really good hurler, Bobby is, and his striking is very good. Bobby will be on the back of winning a Harty medal with Cashel Community School there this year, so when Bobby goes for it, he fancies himself, so he'll be disappointed with that one. Tip
number 6 has been replaced, and that is Dara, or no, has he? No, maybe it's a positional switch. Yeah, Dara Landers has just gone over to the left side. And he switched with Conor Gleeson there. Or maybe they just switched before that. I thought it was a substitution, but it's not. A little bit of a hold up there. So, yeah, 2 went off for Galway. And I was trying to see who came on there, but I haven't seen a number beyond 15 unless it's some sort of positional switch. And they've moved things around and put someone up into the forwards. I'm not quite sure. But 11 minutes gone in the second half. A little bit of respite here for the crowd and the players. The entertainment will resume.
Yeah, 1 point game now, so look, it's going to be interesting to see what players step up now in the next couple of minutes to try and grab this game by the scruff of the neck. And look, Galway could be in here.
Yeah, he pulled in that beautifully on the ground and trying to create a chance. Little hand on the back maybe. Yeah. He did well to stay on his feet. This is Callum Keane again. Pinpoint ball inside to Killian Fahey, but Tip have turned that one over. And it's Billy Collins coming out with it, and he's fouled, and he's frustrated. Galway are frustrated, the crowd are frustrated. We want the game to flow, but that was a free.
Yeah, I think Galway were frustrated by that, but the hunger in the Tip backs have really come to the fore there now, and they're attacking everything, so they're really asking the questions. This game is in the melting pot now, so it'll be interesting to see the next 5 or 10 minutes, next 5 minutes here will be huge for the outcome on this game, I'd imagine, because this game is there to be won, whichever team is going to step up now and really take control. And the big players now, the questions are being asked.
Absolutely, beautifully put. And Tipperary seem to have the bit between their teeth, but that's beautifully plucked out of the air by Ethan O'Brien. And he slipped it. He could have taken the score, but instead he's given it to Callum Keane, and they could end up with nothing. And they do, and it's that tenacity in defence that you were referring to, Kevin, that is working for Tipperary. They're winning a lot of the exchanges, and they are putting the pressure. They're looking for that equaliser.
Both sets of backs here has been commended. I have to say, there's a real tempo to the game now, and the backs are really on top, and scores are to the premium here. To try and get a score here, it's tough work.
That's gone to the left, remains a 1 point game. And by the way, I've spotted the sub who came on. It's Niall Jennings, number 19 for Galway from Capitagle. So he's in there. He's a big fella in there. I don't know how I missed him, but he is in there now, and he's picking up one of the Tip forwards. We're 13 minutes into the second half. 1 point game taken by Billy Collins, who's coming into the game quite a lot in the last few minutes. He's having quite the impact. They're trying to work it through the middle, and they've just agonisingly popped that too far forward, but there was an injury back there, and the game will be held up anyway, and it was a knock for the Galway captain called Sweeney, and the referee is just with him now. Yeah. So another little bit of respite. Or sorry, it's the number 9 actually, it's Ian Ward. Sorry.
Yeah, I see Dara Landers talking to the ref there. I think whether there was something going on off the ball or not, a bit of pulling in the jersey on that, but the ref has dealt with it there now anyway, and they're going back into positions.
17 plays 1-13. The goalkeeper will resume proceedings, and he's just outside his zone 45, and we've seen him right from the start of the game, Kevin, hitting balls like this. Was one he got a point, and it was at the first score of the game, it was, and he launched it and launched himself. I think he was in mid-air when he hit the last one. He gave it that much, so if he does that again, it could give his team a 2 point lead.
Yeah, look, he's going to fancy himself. He's going to go for, I see the bamboo hurley out now, and he's going for as big a distance as he can. You can hear the crack off it, but I don't think he has the distance.
No, I think he was going to drop that one in there, and it has worked because it's gone to Callum Keane. Tipperary hard working in there again, and they've snuffed it out, or have they? Keady is there, and it's just gone to the left. That's agonising for Galway. They're knocking on they just can't get back into this game, can they?
Keady will disappoint with himself there now. He's a guy that would fancy himself to put that over the bar, but I have to say in fairness to Galway, they're asking an awful lot of questions now, but they need to start getting scores because they have a lot of ball and their purple patch could be over if they're not careful.
Yeah, without getting scores. I mean, they got the first 2-3 scores of the second half. They had a 5-point lead back to 1, and they just can't seem to be able to just hit the target at the minute. They're knocking, but they just can't get there. And it's Tipperary now with their captain Bobby Power. And the linesperson is indicating, yeah, I thought he was talking about a sub there, but no, and that's just going to go over the line.
Yeah, Tip would be disappointed with that now. You hitting away your own possession on the restart. And it's back to the Galway keeper now, Harry Mitchell, to puck it out.
Exactly 3/4 mark, 15.5 minutes into the second half.
Callum Keane, number 13 for Galway. He's a guy that could be on the end of a goal chance here. I like his movement, I like his style. It's a free in now for Galway. Derek Harney again, isn't it?
I think it is, and yeah, Keane was lurking over on the left-hand side there. You're right, he's creeping into the game. He comes out quite a way, but his reading of the game is good, and he's got on the end of a few things recently, and only for the Tip defender's been really tight. He might have got through, you know. Yeah,
his movement is very good. He's getting himself out the field. He backs himself for pace, and what he's very interesting to see, he's always there for the pass off the shoulder, and Tip will have to keep a fair hold on him, because he's like a guy that could come out at the end of a run of play and get a goal for Galway, or a score, because scores at the premium now.
18 points for Galway, 1-13 for Tipperary. Back to a 2-point game, and we have 2 changes, 1 for each team now, and a positional switch for Galway too. Let's try and follow all those switches. Who have we got? Who do you see out there, Captain? 23 for Galway, and that's Porrig Canole, is it? From Kinvara. Canole, Canole. Podrick is in for his team, and there was a switch there for Tip as well.
There was.
I'll pick it up, don't worry. We'll get back to the play and we'll follow that first. That's the priority here. But both teams sending on fresh legs. Oh, lovely little dummy there, but the midfielder Owen Earls wasn't fooled by it. And Galway are maybe going to be rewarded now for their perseverance, because they've got a score and now they're just getting a few of the decisions and the balls are just going for them. That's what happens when you dig in.
Yeah, I see Sean Sennett is on there, number 18 for Tip. Sean from the Rosgrave Club. He's gone in a big, strong, physical backman. I think he's gone in there for Brian Manton, number 5.
I see him in there, yeah. He seems to be picking up Derek Kearney. He's standing around the D at the moment. This is Killian Fahy for Galway. Right on halfway, just steps slightly inside it. Is that going to reach? It might, you know. Yeah, no, it's gone to the right and it's gone wide. Remains a 2-point game, and the Tipperary fans respond as if that was nearly a score for them.
Galway are just able to keep their noses in front that tiny little bit all the time. I still think Tip could need a goal to win this.
Yeah, you said that at half-time. You still think that? Well, at half-time there was 4 or 5 in it, or just after. But now there's just a 2 in it. But I think you're right, Tip have had 1 goal already.
But look, they're chipping away at the points, and in fairness, the work rate is good, so you'll be hoping for both sets of players. So it's there for whichever team really, really wants it most.
Plenty of time. This is Billy Collins. Good, lively, energetic play from him to get away. And they try to get it through to Kieran O'Shea, and the ball's going to win that one. And they haven't got Fitzpatrick on the ball the last 5 or 6 minutes, or maybe Galway have just cut that supply line out a little bit.
Yeah, it seems to be. They've been well marshalled inside. And another quick puck out for Galway.
The sun has gone in. And the ball stays in. Well read by Craven. The Galway defence stepping up to the plate. And they're looking for that ball to Keane. Charlie Ryan does well on this occasion.
Yeah, Charlie's doing very well inside, to be fair.
No, he didn't even look where that was going. He just says, put it up there. And why not when you've Tom Delaney there? He's got support. He doesn't need it. He goes himself. And it was Carl Sweeney who got in the way. The captain got in the way and did really well there for his team.
Oh, that was a fantastic interception. If you were ever looking at a real coaching point there, got himself closed the angle down initially, pushed him out wide, and got a real good hurley in to create the block. But the ref is having a conversation here now with the linesman, so it'll be interesting to see.
So yeah, on that tackle you were saying, I mean, he didn't need to dive full length or anything. It just needed the technique to be right and just put the boss of the hurl in the right place.
He did indeed, and did all the right things. Got his body positioning right, pushed him out wide, forced him into the angle. When Tom went to pull the trigger, then he got the hurling across in a very good block in. Now, in fairness to Tom, he was going to go for it. I think he was going for the goal. I think it would be a yellow card there, number 5 for Galway.
It looks like 5. Yeah, they got that. Owen Spellman. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but it's a free in, and it's a good position as well if it's from where the 14 is, and it is. Be a 1 point game, Kevin.
I suppose when the goal was on, there was some sort of a tackle put in on him. The referee deemed illegal, and I suppose the fact that the goal was possibly on, he granted the yellow card.
Yellow card it was, and punished with a point as well. So 9 minutes to go, and it's 18 plays 114, 1 point game. It's beautifully poised. Who is going to finish this game out? Galway have had the edge all the way through, but Tipperary are knocking on the door. That's good work though by Ian Ward. He had a great first half, and that has been called back. Sorry, Kevin, I was watching the ball. What happened there?
Some sort of a technical foul of some sort. I don't think there was a lot in it. Galway were going lateral across the field, and I think it was just an infringement by a Tipperary player, and the referee is after giving a free in now for Galway. And this man is after stepping up again. Their number 11, Killian Fahy, and he's a good striker of the ball, and he's going for it. And is that gone over? Yes.
The previous incident, by the way, on YouTube, there's a few people commenting that maybe there was a trip with a hurley. Okay. Was maybe what it was, but it's happening so fast it's hard to keep track. That's a lovely catch, and a good turn away as well by Michael Ryan. Oh, great defending though. Rhys Craven, and that's a couple of times he's done that in the last couple of minutes, and those sort of interventions are crucial at this time of game. And that was brilliant from him. He just got in there and it lifts the crowd, it lifts his team, you know. Yeah,
I see Fitzpatrick there. I could see what he was trying to do. He was trying to shield, I suppose, the man and the ball and try and get the ball run inside. I think he has goal on his mind, or he definitely had a score on his mind there. He was hoping the ball would go in inside him. He'd be able to turn, he'd have the legs, and the goal would open up in front of him. But in fairness to the Galway player there, he did really well.
I think they've maybe been told to mark from the front and get out there and intercept before he can get the ball.
Well, that's one thing evident with the Galway full back line. They do back themselves and they are going attacking the ball. You have to compliment them for it.
But it's another free in.
Yeah, these frees now are crucial, I think, from a Galway perspective, on the basis that they're actually keeping Tipperary in the game. And I think if they're finding it hard to shake off Tip, even though Tip are pushing hard themselves now. But I think Galway could be that 5 or 6 points ahead without these simple frees.
And but it is simple when he's at the end of it and he brings it back again.
They're keeping Tip in the game, Galway, at the moment, and whether it'll be to their detriment as the game goes on, I'm not sure. But I tell you, they cannot shake off Tip.
They cannot, and a lot of the balls are going in towards Fitzpatrick, and Galway are making fouls around him there. Maybe they're just aware of that threat, but he doesn't need to have clean ball all the time. But see if he does, he'll put one in the net, and that'll be the end of that.
That's the thing, and that's what could come back to haunt Galway. But to be fair to him, Galway have really laid down a marker for the whole game. They've been ahead for the whole game, so it'll be interesting to see can they keep that standard and that tempo going.
24 minutes nearly gone, so 6 minutes to go, 1 point game, and if you know you're hurling, that means anything can happen. But Tip, it'd be interesting to see if they could just edge themselves ahead, because they haven't been ahead, and then we'll see what Galway are really made of.
Absolutely, and it'd be interesting to see now for the last 5 or 6 minutes whether both benches both management will start looking at their benches with a game like today. It's energy sapping out there.
Well, that's got to be a free. And it is a free, and that's a chance for an equaliser. A little bit of desperation there.
Yeah, and Sam Dooley, to be fair now, he's working very hard around the middle. Came into the team there today from an injury to Ben Kirby during the week, and in fairness to him, he's after justifying his selection. He's loads of energy in a day like today, and I suppose that's why they went for him.
And 5 minutes to go in the sapping heat here in Birr. He has won a free, which Fitzpatrick has put over, as we expect him to, and it's a draw game.
I'll tell you, Fitzpatrick today has really shown his steadiness and his composure. and I suppose he's particularly on place balls. But what I'm impressed by him too is his work rate. And even he's going across there and put pressure on. He was in the eye line. I wouldn't, but in fairness to the Galway cornerback, Fitzpatrick put a bit of pressure on and he got caught. And it went through the hands and out over the sideline.
I think it took a bad bounce there too. You could see the way he reacted. He was like, "What?
Yeah,
what happened there?"
himself.
But yeah, I mean, he's playing really well and he hasn't missed, and he's handling the pressure of those frees no problem at all. Now, Cian Moyle says, "Well, if Fitzpatrick can do it, I'll have a go." But he puts it just to the right. That's agonising. That would have put Tip ahead for the first time.
Yeah, the Kilramone
but it's
man.
Close.
The Kilramone man will be disappointed with himself there. He's a fine hurler, a good striker of the ball. Maybe snatched it a little bit. I suppose going for the equaliser, he might have went a little bit too fast on it.
Edel Butler wants to know, is it 70 minutes? No, it's 60. So we've 4.5 minutes to go, and then maybe a bit of added time. This is under 17. Electric Ireland Challenge, Celtic Challenge. 116 plays 19. Draw game, beautifully poised. And yeah, you mentioned the benches. I suppose they'd love to empty their benches, but they also want to win here, don't they?
Actually, they do, but it'd be interesting to see now from an energy level for the players that are out there now. As you can see, it's quite sapping out there. It'll be interesting to see what's going to happen over the next couple of minutes from the bench on both sides.
Galway, it seems, haven't had a score for a while or much attack for a while, but here's an opportunity, and it's one of their subs. It's Padraig Connolly. Tipperary just seem to have most of the answers at the minute, and that tenacity you were mentioning around that half-back area as well. I mean, they're battling in there in numbers to win the ball back, but Galway have emerged with it, and that would put them ahead again if he can score that. Oh my goodness, what a brilliant score it is. That's just what was needed for Galway, and the man who stepped up was Owen Earls to sneak them ahead.
Yeah, great score, won the ball, put in hard work, won the primary ball and turned around and over the bar.
But look at the room here for Michael Ryan. Now he isn't able to take it cleanly, and now he's been turned over, and Galway have it with Ethan O'Brien. They looked out. Oh, there's a brilliant turnover for Tipperary. This game is end to end. It is lovely hurling. It is fantastic hurling. It is so enjoyable. He takes a hit, keeps going, backs himself. The fullback, it's Conor Gleeson, but he just misses the target.
No, this game is really heating up now for the last couple of minutes. Both teams are really going at it, hammer and tongs. In the middle third of the field, there's a right battle going on. I'm really impressed with Ciarán O'Shea there from the JK Brackens club. He's coming into it himself. That's him on the ball again. He's on the last 4 or 5 balls, so he's really driving Tip forward.
Well, Michael Ryan involved there, the captain involved there, and then Sam Dooley wearing 20, but he's been on from the start and he's had a brilliant game. Yeah, he came in, he was the only change before today, but he has scored and he's brought it back again.
Yeah, Michael Ryan there again on the ball, very good. He's working really hard around the middle.
2.5 minutes of normal time remaining.
Yeah,
it is tit for tat.
As I said at the outset, that purple patch Galway went through at the very start of the second half with a couple of wides. It's kind of coming back to haunt them a little bit now, but that said, I think Galway are well capable to push on and win this, as our Tip. It's actually in the melting pot, so it's there for whoever wants it.
Dooley has just been taken off, by the way, the number 20. I was just talking about him. He just got that score. He's gone. Callum Keane at the other end trying to engineer something, and he might get it at the second time of asking. Tipperary turn it over once more. The momentum is definitely with Tipperary. Billy Collins puts it down into the forwards. 21 is in there for Tip, but it's well defended by Tom Fahey. Brilliantly defended against the sub who come in, and that's 21, Callum Poole from Newport.
Yeah, Callum Poole, in fairness, the ball was well won in the air by Galway, and I suppose he tried to break the tackle on. Callum was deemed to be holding him in the tackle, and the goalie's out again to have a crack of this.
Yes. 28, nearly 29 minutes gone. Is it going to be Harry's game? It's Tipperary 117, it's Galway 20 points, it's level. He is just outside his own 65, but we know he loves to give it everything, and he will boom this with the bamboo hurl, and it drops in and around the house, and it's Callum Keane. Oh, I was waiting for that to end up in the net, but it wasn't even a 65.
Yeah, I had identified Callum Keane going back 5 or 6 minutes ago. I said that he will be on the end of something.
He reads
and
it
he
well.
Was very close to it there, but it's interesting to see Tip. They've gone for Callum Poole to come in. I think they're going to try and win primary ball and take it on for pace.
Galway defenders doing so well to get out in front again. That was Rhys Creevan, as he's done so often, but Tipperary persisted. It's Ciarán O'Shea. Oh, he just got hooked there at the last minute. This is so close, it's nail biting. Last 30 seconds. Galway struggling under pressure to get out of their own area. And he got hooked there, did he, by O'Shea? The Galway captain, Sweeney, drives it down into the forwards towards Keane. Keane does well. You said, Kevin, he needs to get on the end of something. He probably will. Surely he hasn't put that over. Oh my goodness, that is audacious.
Yeah, look,
from a ridiculous angle.
I'm watching his movement in the second half, and he's a guy that needs man marking all the time. He was going to be on the end of something. He was actually on the end of two in the last 2 minutes. Very unlucky with the goal chance, but has put that one over the ball.
Or was it over? One umpire gave it, but we're looking at it, and I think this debate is about whether it actually went over the bar or not. The referee is making note of it, so he is giving it.
Yeah.
Yep. Drama right at the end here in added time in St Brendan's Park in Birr, and Galway sneak into the lead by a point. Could that controversial score be the winner? Tip need possession, but they don't get it because Ian Ward is there. What a shift he has put in today for his team.
Looks like a throw-in, is it?
I think it is. 61 minutes, about to go into the 62nd minute. I don't think we've had too many delays or stoppages in the second half, so I don't think there's long left.
Yeah, look.
So this is crucial.
Yeah,
and Tipperary have got it. They have, and it's their midfielder Michael Ryan. He has been brilliant in the last 15 minutes, but Galway somehow snatched that back. Now this is vital.
Oh, yeah.
What way is it going to break? It's the number 10, Ethan O'Brien, but he loses it, and it's Tom Delaney. Now, he's put that over his shoulder. Is it going to go all the way over? It's an equaliser, you know.
That's a fantastic score. Back to the goal. One look, turned around, bang, over the bar. That's a great equaliser, and I tell you, it's still down for. This is still down for whichever team are going to step up in this puck out.
What a thriller we have had in the 2023 Electric Ireland Celtic Challenge.
Both
for the Corn Michael Hogan. Kevin Halley is excited. He's the Tipperary GM, and he's willing them to get a winner right at the end, and they might just do it. Oh, that's been the star of the game, or one of the stars of the game, and he for once didn't quite find the target. Galway now trying to get away, and there's a hard hit, and that's going to be a free to Galway, and I think he's actually hurt himself a little bit there, so there's going to be a moment of respite here, Kevin, for us to get our breath back in the 33rd minute.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I was going to compliment both sets of half-back lines. They've been really good in this second half, winning primary ball and winning aerial ball, in fairness to both of them. And I know there was a bit of a heavy collision between the two lads there. I'm not sure which Tipperary player it was. I think it was Bobby Power,
11 on 11? I think it was. Yeah, 11 on 11 Power.
Yeah, but the two lads seem to be all right. And the goalie's out again to have a go at this.
33rd minute of the game. The goalkeeper, Harry Mitchell. He got the first point of the game. And now he's got the bamboo hurl out again to give this everything to try and get a winner for his team. Is it going to be Harry's game? Harry Mitchell puts it in there. Who's going to win this? It's all about this, and it's Keane. Keane is trying to get it, and I think he has it. Any score will do. He goes for goal. Goalkeeper does brilliantly. That's Jake Hackett for Tipperary. Drama right at the end of this thrilling game. Oh, and it's a free in. It's a free in, and Galway are thrilled. Big crowd in front of us. Half of them enraged, half of them delighted. This could be the winner. Let's have a look at it again, Kevin.
Exceptionally good save by Jake.
And you could see where the free was given?
I didn't actually. They didn't run on that far from the replay perspective. I'm not 100%, but the referee was closest and he deemed that it was a free, so.
33 minutes, 47 seconds. Teams level here in Birr. Killian Fahey.
Yep.
Surely that's the winner.
I'd say there'll probably be another puck out in it. It'll be interesting to see, will the ref give a chance?
He will. Tip, obviously need to win this one. Fitzpatrick, one of the danger men, is there, but Kieran O'Shea has it. He got a goal. He just needs a point to level it up. Is it good?
Yes.
It is good. Oh my goodness. This competition has got so many benefits, but it also produces absolute thrillers and great skill and great play and great drama and entertainment.
Yeah, I spoke about Kieran O'Shea there about 5 or 6 minutes ago. His work rate around the middle area and the middle third of the field was very good. I think the referees have to blown all square.
We're into bonus territory. We're going to have extra time, and no one can complain about that.
No, and in fairness to Galway, they've from the outset they pushed and they led from the whole game from the start effectively to very close to the end of the game when Tip really stood up and started pushing on and asking questions of Galway. But to be fair, they never let Tip get ahead of them, or much ahead of them, I should say, and they kept themselves in the game. I have to compliment Tipperary, to be fair. They never let down. They kept themselves in the game, and obviously ended all square here at full time. So it's all to play for now.
And
for
you see the big crowd there. They're all getting out onto the pitch as well. They need to get out there and relax and just stretch their legs as well. It's been a nail-biting second half. It's been a long day. That's 2 streams, and we're not finished yet. But we are going to take a break for 4 or 5 minutes until the players come back out. But we will be back for extra time. Extra time required in St Brendan's Park in Birr. And nobody in the big crowd here is complaining. They've had full value already. And here we go. Tipperary playing from right to left. They've gone full tilt at it. And I was thinking that they look a bit tired, but they've started as if they're fully energised. I suppose they're only 17, these lads. Well won for Galway, and Kearney comes away with it. Dara Landers got across, but Ian Ward still full of running. He's blocked down as well. That's 2 blocks, 3 blocks already in the first 30 seconds. Great intensity, as you would expect. Beautifully taken by Michael Ryan from Burgess, and then leaves it off to his captain Bobby Parr. And he applies the finish. Well, there's the answer to people who thought these lads might be tired of be tough on them in the second half. Tipperary have hit the ground running.
And I'll tell you, in the last 15 minutes of the abnormal time, Michael Ryan really impressed me. And I'll tell you, he started this extra time how he means to continue, because he's really going well now in the last half an hour or more. He's flying it.
Cian Moyles as well does brilliantly for Tipperary. And is that Fitzpatrick blown for over-carrying? Yeah, he just couldn't get it away quickly enough. 120 plays 22. Tipperary in front. And is that the first time they've been in front?
I think it is.
In the whole game? In extra time, right at the start of extra time. And it's Harry again. This is going to drop in and around the other goalkeeper, I'd imagine.
Yeah, in fairness, the keeper is a good old striking him, and he's after hitting it. You can hear the crack with the bamboo again.
Yeah. No, it's not as far as that, actually. It only gets as far as the D. And 13 is Ben Kirby, by the way, who didn't start the game, even though he was named at 2 start at 13. He didn't start, but he's in there now, you see. Galway looking for an equaliser. Burgess, or rather, not Burgess, Ryan is there, putting him under pressure, but too much pressure, and they've given away a free. And you would imagine that Killian Fahy will level it yet again.
Yeah, to be fair to the ref, he was right. He's probably explaining to Michael, probably a little bit over-ambitious use of the hurley, trying to dispossess. But
well, at 24 years old, the referee has a fitness on his side, but you've been impressed by him.
Yeah, he's really had a good game, and he's really managing the game really well.
Third minute of extra time then. Who's on the break? It's Kearney. Clever use as well. Gives it to his captain. That was the 2 captains together. This is Spellman for Galway. Good work by Moyles again. Well, we knew from the first 5 minutes it was going to be an even contest, and it has proved to be that. And in extra time, it is also just tit for tat. There's the 2 captains clashing again. And the Galway captain into the back of the Tipperary captain, and it's a free to Bobby Parr.
Yeah, and a real battle of the 2 half back lines. As you see, there's a lot of ball being played in that middle third, and there are 2 really good strong half back lines. And I suppose the team that's able to combat the half back line on the other side are the team that are going to push on here.
Now Fitzpatrick has come all the way out to take this. He couldn't, could he? From there?
I think it's Bobby Power, is it?
Is it Bobby Parr? I thought it was Fitzpatrick came out. No, Bobby Parr is inside. Number 11 is inside with a red helmet.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
He is going for it, but it's gone to the left and wide. Worth a try, though, when you're on form. I wouldn't call it a miss, and he certainly hasn't missed much today. 4 minutes in now. First period of extra time. Oh, beautifully snatched by the fullback, Conor Gleeson, and off he goes. He's been chased, but they can't catch him, so he gives it inside to Ben Kirby. Has he made a dramatic impact? He hasn't. He's put it to the left. Great work by the fullback, though, Kevin, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's having a very good year. And in fairness, he showed his power and his pace coming out and winning that ball, attacking the ball, and good delivery.
Galway now, by the way, have the number 9 Ian Ward in there on him, playing at full forward. They've thrown him into that area. Maybe they're rotating a little bit. Oh, lovely bit of skill. That was beautiful. Audacious. And has he got the finish to apply it? Oh, my goodness, that's wonderful skill. And it's 5 minutes, let me remind you, into extra time. And they're still coming up with all sorts of fantastic skill. That was class.
That was top class. That was top class. Callum Keane has been shown all day long. He's a fantastic hurler. He has all the skills of the game in the modern game. He has the pace. He has the accuracy. He's able to. He's very good off the shoulder. He knows exactly what he's doing inside that inside forward line, and that's the type of guy you want in there.
Now, I mentioned that Ian Ward had gone into full forward. He's now been taken off, so maybe he was put in there. Maybe he had a knock and he can't run it off. So he has left the field. So a switch for Galway as they sneak into a 1-point lead. Just inside the perimeter where we are, so we got a nice close-up view of that. That's a great ball and so hard to defend, especially when Kieran O'Shea is on the end of it, but he puts it to the right and he puts it just wide.
Yeah, Galway have managed to develop a good bit of space again inside for their...
Or sorry, it was Ethan O'Brien. I got my tens mixed up there, but yeah.
There's a lot of space inside in the Galway full forward line, between the full forward and the half forward line there. That man again, Jay Keady, has pulled himself out the field to the middle third. He's created a lot of space inside, so they'll be trying to get those fast inside men on the ball that Galway are trying to do.
It is now 6.5 minutes into the first period of extra time, and not surprisingly, a little bit of a lull. These boys have been going full tilt all day.
Yeah, and I suppose a little bit of the cool of the evening here after 5. The real heat has gone out of it a small bit, which is no harm for the players.
Now for Galway, Niall Jennings. Fahy. A little bit of a room for once. A little bit of room for once. Tipperary looking for another equaliser. That's well taken by the substitute, Colin Poole. And keeper watches it well. Harry has it covered. Good quick delivery as well and finds Tom Fahy. But, oh, that was a tired effort to try and get the ball there from Charlie Ryan, unsurprisingly, but that wasn't tired from Charlie. He recovered there and his hurl snapped in two, but they'll get him another one and he'll get back into the play, but he'd better get back quick because Galway are on the attack now and they've got it down as far as Ethan O'Brien. He's looking to extend the Galway lead, gives it inside, and the effort comes in from Jack Jordan. Has he got it? No.
Yeah, going back there to Charlie Ryan, he was caught in the initial ball in, but he just showed, you talk about developing and coaching younger players to never give up. He got a fantastic block in and then got away the clearance, so it was a really good bit of defending.
8 minutes gone. Galway 1 up. Sideline ball for Galway. I think he connected the way he wanted to there, and who's there but Michael Burgess, of course, or Michael Ryan from Burgess, of course. But Jack Keady has it for Galway. Little nudge in the back there, I think, that he got away with. Ben Kirby now for Tip. Sean Sinnott is 18 for Tipperary, and has he kept that in? Actually, no, he hasn't kept it in. A little bit of a lull the last couple of minutes. The game's gone a little bit quieter. Crowd have gone a bit quieter, but they'll ramp it up, I think, for the last 10 minutes, and it's going to be 1 or 2 points in it, I would imagine. 1 in it at the minute. 1 minute to go, first period of extra time.
Yeah, a little bit ambitious there with the ball in, so they had to be a little bit cleverer on the use of the ball. Tip will have to be, but again, Michael Ryan is on that ball again.
And is that Tom Delaney? I think it is. He's been hunted down by 2 Galway players, and they do hunt him down, but Bobby Power, the captain, comes to his aid. And there comes the effort at an equaliser, but it doesn't go over, but he has a free. It comes back.
Yeah, the referee played the advantage rule there to see what would happen and let the play on, but he has a call back now for a free.
Yeah, the sun is gone. It has got cooler, and the game has just slowed a little bit.
Yeah, I see Tip have Ben Kirby after coming in there. So Ben was initially down to start, picked up a bit of a knock during the week. I see he has the glove on the hand or whatever the case may be out there. So he's gone onto a bit of ball. He's a big, powerful man.
Yeah, he's made an impact a few times in this first 10 minutes of extra time. And there is another equaliser as we come to the end of the first period of extra time. And we are, as you were, still level. And we'll have a couple of minutes here. I would imagine it'll be 2 or 3 minutes, and then we will be right back into it. So there's probably no point in stopping, so we'll just keep going. And I'd like to remind people, Kevin, if you can, just about what this competition is about and the pathway for the players, and the fact that there's 38 teams have taken part from 30 different counties. It's worth repeating, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's a fantastic competition. The ethos of it is in relation to development across all tiers of it. I know from a Tipperary point of view and a Tipperary perspective, it's about keeping another cohort of players in the system for as long as we can. A lot of these players would have ambitions to play at a very high level, whether it's within their clubs or whether it's within their own county structures. These lads wouldn't have pushed on to minor A level this year, but over a period of time, under 20, a lot of these lads would have that on their radar and would hope to break into a Tipperary set up at under 20 level. And as proved from last year or over the last number of years, even with our own Celtic Challenge squads, that lads do push on and develop at a later age, and that's what this competition is all about. And the development and the ethos, and indeed, I know they say at under 17 to under 20, there's a fairly big gap. There's probably a lovely opportunity possibly for a Celtic Challenge style, maybe for an under 18 and a half possibly, to bridge that gap within the development structures or the development ethos of players and late developers.
That's an interesting idea. The competitions have been going since 2016, and they've made a great impact, not just in providing loads of games, but opportunities for players and so on, and they will continue to do that. It's all about development tiers.
It is, and it's meaningful development. This really means something to the players and to the counties that are involved in it. You see yourself today, this is a war of attrition out there. They're really working hard. They're really playing for their jerseys and for their counties, and the players and the management and all involved with this should be complimented today, because the ethos here is really good, and the hurling is at a very high standard and a very high level. And you see yourself out there in the huddles there just before the throw in here now. Both teams are really engrossed in this, and they really want to win it.
Absolutely, and they were in the final last year as well.
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
Owning this competition. So we have 10 minutes to go, and at the end of that 10 minutes we will stay on for the presentation. There's an award called the Best and Fairest, and then there is the cup to be presented as well, and the medals will be given out to the players. So we hope to capture all that on film for you. But right now, the referee Matthew Farrell has put the ball in for the second period of extra time, and the man pouncing there is the captain of Tipperary. He goes for a score right away. Oh, that's incredible. Right from the start. Well, there's a signal of intent if ever you needed one.
Yeah, Bobby Powers had to lay down a marker, the Borland Douala club. They're really up for this, so the next couple of minutes here will really be important for both teams to keep themselves in. Any team that slips back here by 2 or 3 points could find themselves in trouble.
And look how invested the sideline is. They're screaming for everything. They really want to win this. Yeah. And why not? And there's a free for them now.
Absolutely. I see there the tip mentors there in front. Guys that, like any mentors around the country, put an awful lot in. John Connors there, the manager from Borla or from Thurles Sarsfield Club. You have Bonnie Kennedy there from Canoti Rossmore, a huge amount of experience, a former inter-county player. You have Stephen Ahern from Rosgray and Derek Hogan, the Carrick Swans Club. And those guys are really engrossed and involved in this and have put in an awful lot of work, and the lads should be complimented, as should any mentor involved in any county squad in academy level. They put in great work, and that's a good point again for Tip. Tip are up for this now in this second half. They're asking questions of Galway, and it'll be interesting to see, will Galway have the answers?
Yeah, 2-point lead for the first time in the game for Tipperary. Second minute of added, or extra time rather. Referee calls for it. What have Galway got? What have they got left rather? It's about fight, about determination. And this man's got plenty of that, Cormac Fitzpatrick. He's got the vital scores as well, and he won that when he dug in there and won it for his team. And that is the substitute. That is Callum Poole, and he's No, it's a free out. Sorry, I looked down there, Kevin. What happened there?
Well, I think he was done for overcarrying, and
Right.
I said there in normal time that Callum is inside to take on that ball and to run it, but unfortunately I think he took it literally. He forgot to take the touch. But I'll tell you, if he gets going and he creates any bit of space, he will put it over.
A little bit of cramp being getting treatment for just to the right of that. The goalkeeper taking the free there, by the way. It's got to that stage, deep into extra time, the second period. The player is feeling it.
Yeah, you have to compliment Conor Gleeson there from Drummond today at full back. There's an real air of certainty about his game today, and he's been a real leader at full back and really kept Tip in it for long periods when we needed him.
All right, Tipperary in the second period of extra time, and it's a substitute pool. He's got a man inside. They haven't got a goal yet. They still haven't oh, it's a free though. The referee, is he going to bring it back? No, they're giving the point. They'll take the point. It's hectic, but it's another point, and that's a 3-point lead for Tip for the first time in the game.
Yeah, as I said, Colin Poole has the legs. It was a very strategic move by the management. You have to hand it to him. He has a lot of pace. If that ball breaks inside and he gets on the end of it, he will take it on. And he asked the question, very unlucky that he didn't put it in the net there. So the questions now are over to Galway. Will they be able to answer this purple patch Tipperary are in?
Switch for Galway. They have to do something. They've taken off Kearney. So they brought in a player, but it's still Tipperary and their captain, Bobby Parr. He set the tone at the start of the second half, and he's trying to get another one, but that one's dropped to Harry Mitchell. Good ball as well. He picked out his man. Referee awards a free for that challenge. Now, who's come in there? I missed who came in for Galway. I'm trying to spot a high number in there. And yeah, Katie's still in there, of course. And he's gone into the edge of the square. And Galway have some fresh legs in there. Now, this is Owen Spellman now. 4 minutes into extra time. Galway need something. Tipperary have put it up to them. They need a response. This man has usually had a response. That's Keane. He nearly won it for them in normal time. Oh, but look at the room here. It's going to come right back at them, but that ball is possibly going to be turned over. Nope. Galway in the 5th minute of the second period of extra time, and it's turned over. And they lash it clear because they have dangerous forwards. And it was Cian Moyles who put it up there. And it's a sub. And that is drilled over the bar. And that, I make it, is 125-24. And that means it's the 50th score in this game. And it has been a credit to both teams. And indeed the competition, the Electric Ireland Challenge Cup. 50 scores in the game.
Yeah, as I said to you, Colin Poole, he's finding an awful lot of room inside her, and when there's room around that young man, he will win that ball and he will ask questions all the time. So Galway will have to close that space behind. There's too much of an area around that D that Tip are making hay while the ball is going in there, but Tip half backline have become really, really on top here.
And that's Fitzpatrick. He's been the player, oh my goodness, who has made them tick throughout this match. He hardly even looked there. He just knew where it was. He's on song today from start to finish. He has been simply electric in this Electric Ireland Challenge Cup. What a performance by him in particular.
Absolutely. The guys around the middle third of the field in the half back line have really come on top, and that man down at the moment, Michael Ryan, has had an outstanding game. There's a reason why he's in cramp at the moment, because he's put in a huge shift around that middle third, around that middle of the field. But look, I suppose there was periods at the time there Galway could have pushed Tipperary away, but they didn't do so. They kept Tip in the game for long periods. But Tip now are really asking questions of Galway, so we'll interest to see what have Galway in the armour to answer this question, and Tip are in possession again.
It's been a sensational 6 minutes in the second period of extra time for Tipperary. They have opened up a big lead, 5 points, and it's hard to see Galway coming back from this now.
Tip might need to get in a substitute there for Michael Ryan. I say he's totally out on his feet.
Every ball there, they're batting it down Tipperary, and they have the men there every time, and they seem to just get scores almost with ease. But hold on, that's a superb block, and it's the Galway number 19, Niall Jennings, doing some great work there to repel that attack, but they just can't get a score on the board in the second period, and it's all Tipperary. But oh, what a catch. It's like the rock coming out of defence there, but it was Ben O'Dwyer from Clarenbridge. And this is Colm Keane going through the middle. They need a goal. They need anything. They'll take a point. They get one.
Yeah. Great score there by Colm Keane again. Callum, I think he's after picking up a bit of a knock as well in doing so. I think he's after going over in the ankle.
Oh, that's nasty.
He's had a very good game, to be fair to him. He's been outstanding. His ability to read the game has been really good. He takes on the ball, he asks the questions, and one thing he's finishing is really good.
4 points in it. 3 minutes to go.
It's funny, the Galway half back line now have come on top, and they're having their purple patch, so they will need scores out of their purple patch now, and the clock is against them as well, so it will be pressure. But it's the Tipperary Keane Miles again that's intercepted.
Yeah, it's around that area there. They keep breaking Galway hearts. They cannot get through there, and Galway have a vital turnover. Yeah,
Keane Miles there in particular put the body on the line, won that primary ball. It was opening up for Galway, but in fairness to him, he got the turnover, won the free.
Now, at the end of this Best and Fairest award, who are you thinking? We have a couple of minutes to go. We're nearly there. 2 minutes to go. I'll give you a moment to think about it. This man has obviously been fabulous, and he puts it right in there. Where's it going to go? Galway need to get this out and get up the field, but they don't. Oh, beautiful score off the shoulder, and it is Michael Ryan. He has had an immense game for his county. He has got better and better as the game has went on, and he may just have sealed it. And the crowd fully invested in this, loving this performance by Tipperary in the second period of extra time. And to think that they were so nearly beaten in normal time, but what a response from them. Is there a response from Galway? Cillian Fahey, lobs it in there and gets a score as well from right out in the sideline. We are having exhibition hurling right to the end.
Yeah, Galway are not lying down. They're really pushing it, and they're constantly working really hard. And you never know, there could be a goal in this game yet for Galway.
There are men going down all over the field with cramp and various injuries. They've given it so much in this Celtic Challenge final, and we are down now to the last minute, but it's going to be extended because of the stoppages, which are completely understandable in the heat.
Yeah, actually the cloud cover has kind of moved on, and the sun is back shining fairly strong again, so the lads are really under pressure with this heat.
9.5 minutes gone. Tipperary lead by 4.
Niall Jennings has had a very good game for Galway since he came on there. He's really stabilised that half back line around that area.
Now, if they get a point here, there's only a goal in it. That's a brilliant score. That's 2 in a row from right out on the sideline. You've got to admire the way Galway have stepped up. They could have been forgiven for falling away here.
Absolutely, and as I said to you, Tipper in their purple patch, they got scores. Galway are now having their spell, and they're starting to find the range and get the scores as well. As I said to you, there could potentially be a goal in this if Galway keep the pressure on. You just don't know.
I think it was Killian Fallon, number 22 from the Tommy Larkins club. We are now in added time at the end of the second period of extra time, if you follow. A little bit of off the ball there. The referee, I don't think, seen it. We go on with the play. It's 127 plays 27. That's 55 scores in this game. Galway need to win it. They need a goal out of somewhere, but instead it's Tipperary. Now that's going to drop short, and what it means is that Harry Mitchell can take that on his hurl, and he has picked out his full-back, Ben O'Dwyer. And is there a goal, a dramatic goal in Galway? Now what way is that decision going? It's going for Tip. Referee is taking his time. No, he's going along with the decision.
Yeah, one thing about the ref, he's a very composed ref. He's not going to rush into anything, and he's making good calls.
Tipperary just want to get rid of it. They just want to send it up there. They'll take a score, but they just need the ball up that end of the pitch. Now, he's got in behind Kieran O'Shea. Is he going to drill for? He scored for goal. I don't believe it. It came off the post. He didn't need it. Just a point would have done, but they might get a goal. Oh, what a save. What drama at the end. Unbelievable save from Harry Mitchell. He didn't deserve to concede another goal, and he didn't. That was cat-like the way he went across, but what a drive there off the post. Sensational stuff in this Electric Ireland Celtic Challenge final. What a game. What credit to these lads. 55 scores and nearly another one.
I'd say John Connors over is pulling his absolute hair out. I suppose he would have loved to see the ball go over the bar and make it a safe lead, but to be fair, in under 17 he saw the goals opening up in front of him, asked the question, pulled the trigger, off the post, came back. And to be fair to that goalie, and I'll tell you, that Harry Mitchell, he's had a fantastic game today, and he has the the ability to pick out players. His puck outs are good, and his shot stopping is very good. I think that young man is going to have a big future in the Galway jersey.
Are you going to give him player of the match or best and fairest?
He's definitely in the running for it.
Now come on. Who are you going with? I'm going with Cormac Fitzpatrick, but yeah, you could name about 10 easy there who would be great contenders, but it's hard to go past him.
Yeah, look, there would be definitely a number of lads in the mix as far as I could see. I mentioned the Galway goalie in particular, who's been a constant throughout the game. Their number 6 as well there has been very good. Cathal Sweeney and indeed Jack Keady as well. But from the Tipperary perspective, definitely Conor Gleeson impressed me at 3. Keane Miles at number 7 was very strong. Michael Ryan to me was outstanding. He was a really good game. But I suppose looking at the first half when the chips were down, as you said it there, that man inside Fitzpatrick kept Tipperary in it for long periods of the game when other lads Martin really in it as such. But I'll tell you, he is just after shading it ahead, in my opinion, to Ciarán O'Shea. But as you said, I suppose scores win matches, and I suppose to be fair to Cormac Fitzpatrick, he was outstanding there today. So you're right, I would agree with you on that. Cormac Fitzpatrick, the full forward for Tipperary.
But I feel bad for Michael Ryan.
I do. I feel bad for him myself, to be honest. But I'll tell you, he's had a fantastic game out there, as did numerous other lads. As I said to you about Conor Gleeson there on the full back line. He is the real epitomised stability, and you need one of those guys in the anchor of the team. Darrell Andrews as well at 6 has a huge credit to take for that performance. But look, I spoke about Callum Poole coming in. He really brought pace into that forward line when we got scores. You could go down through it. Tom Delaney as well showed very well. Ben Kirby when he came in, a big strong young fella, big puck of the ball, another lad that impressed. But look, you have to hand it to Tip that when they weren't put away, and they could have been put away early in the game, Galway just left them in it. And I think when you speak about developing and learning from games, I think Galway will take great learning from that. When you have a team on the rack like that, you must put them away, and particularly a group of young fellas from Tipperary, because they have that never say die attitude now instilled into them, and I think that's coming from the top down, from Liam Cahill straight throughout the county now. So it's a great sign for these young players to progress, whether it's in a county jersey or indeed to the fore and leaders who are in their club structures.
And it's been great to be able to bring this game to you on a live stream, and there have been viewers worldwide. We have at the Dublin pub in Oregon out in the States there, and they've just written a little comment there in the live chat, said crazy good match. I think that's American for they enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, it just goes to show. I mean, you could argue hurling is the real winner, a real old cliche, but the reality of it was a fantastic game. It was an exciting game. But one thing that was really evident out there, both players went at it and they both really wanted to win it, and that is testament to the competition.
And there, that scene is testament to the competition. The players give everything, and then their family and friends are out there, and their club mates as well are out there congratulating them, because they have enjoyed watching them in this competition and seeing their skills and seeing them showcase them, and they're absolutely fantastic. It's been brilliant to see. What we're going to do is go down and hopefully get some of the speeches down there and hear what I said, and maybe get a word with the winning manager down there, John Connors.
John
is he
Connors
down there?
Is down there, yeah.
Which one is he now? I'll go and try and find him now, but you'll know him, so you can point me out, or point him out to me, and I'll go down there and try to get a word, or maybe one or two of the players as well. But we will stay on for the presentations, which are going to be made in the next few seconds, because the chairperson of the Birr Club actually is down there, John Irwin, and he's going to take care of that and make a little bit of a speech as well as a presentation. So we will see. Yep.
We could have our own Ken Hogan down there, I think, on the presentation.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
I just see Ken walking across.
All right. Well, perfect. So we are going to be doing that now. All the players are out there, and the supporters are out, and they've all gone beyond the presentation. So we're going to have to come back over here to our side of things. But that will happen in the next few minutes. We are going to stay for that. You're not going to miss it. But it's ended 128-27. That's 56 scores. Have you spotted that manager?
Yeah, there's John is just walking across here in the front.
Oh, this is him on the right here.
Yeah,
okay.
That's him just shaking hands.
Shaking hands with Ciarán O'Shea. Okay, well, I'll go down and try and get a word with him. But first of all, I think we're going to have the presentation. So John is poised for that. But understandably, all the friends and family have come out of the stand and they want to commiserate, and we'll let John take care of the proceedings for now. He's just trying to direct people over for the presentation. The players are coming, and the cup is waiting there, and it is the Corn Michael Hogan. So almost ready to go with that. So I'm going to leave Kevin here, and I'm going to head down and see if we can pick up what's been said down there and see what these lads thought and see who gets best and fairest awards. Could go to quite a few of them. And then we'll have the cup presented to the captain as well. So Bobby Power is the captain.
Ken Hogan. Ken Hogan played here with the school in Birr, reaching an All-Ireland Colleges final, and obviously went on then to play and manage Tipperary to All-Ireland success. So Ken, you're very welcome, and we're delighted that you're here. The first presentation we're going to have will be of the medals to each of the players. So we're going to start with the goalkeeper for Tipperary, number 1, James Hackett.
Long call. Great game, Connor.
Number 11, Bobby Power. Number 12, Tristan Kelly. Number 13, Shane Kirby. Number 14, Cormac Fitzpatrick. Number 15, Tom Delaney. Number 16, Owen Dunn. 17, Seamus Kennedy. Number 18, Sean Sinnott. Number 19, Cian Hogan. Number 20, Sam Dooley. Number 21, Callum Poole. Number 22, Adam O'Connell. Number 23, Matthew Deering. Number 24, Brian Buckley. Number 25, Tommy Birr. St. Bernard's Park Road has hosted many great games, and today's game, I think everybody who's watching this game will show huge appreciation to both sides for a magnificent game of hurling. Well done to Tipperary and Galway in a magnificent game of hurling. And in that regard, there's many people who could have got best and fairest in this particular game, but it's been adjudged that the person getting best and fairest is Tipperary's number 14, Cormac Fitzpatrick. And a huge thanks also to the officials today. They were the referee, Matthew Farrell, and all these officials who travelled with them. And finally, we're going to call on Ken Hogan to present Kern Michael Hogan to the winning captain from Tipperary, number 11, Bobby Power. Bobby?
First of all, I want to say thanks for the rest of the officials for doing a good job. job today. No, Darren, he's a games ref. I'd like to thank our 4 coaches, John, Bonnie, Derek and Steve. I also like to thank Park as well for doing the water all year. To Galway, it's a great match, and I'm sure we'll see you in the future years. And Tipperary do.
Thank you very much, Bobby.
And let's say I'm going in now to the team photograph. I'll try and get a word with the captain, but they're doing the usual celebration. Let me nip in and try and get the captain there for a second. Just a quick question for him. Or maybe I'll have to go for the coach, actually, because, yeah, he's going to be needed there. So stay with us here and we'll get a quick words with the manager over here. John. Oh, you have to make a presentation. All right, well, tell me what this is about. But our cameras are up there, so you can turn around that way. So let's have a look at this. Explain what this is.
This is the main man that has been with us since we started trialling back in January. So this is Pádraig Kendi. He's Bonnie's son, so he is one of the main men that we've had all year. So that's the man I come to before matches and after matches to get the debriefing.
And he's a very fashionable guy as well, with a cool hat.
And the bucket hat, so I could have done with it myself on the line today. Well done, Pádraig.
It's a lucky hat anyway, well done.
Play, yeah.
And here, what about these lads and this achievement here today and this competition?
Oh, this is an unreal competition now, and I've said it since the start of the year. We started trialling, so we did back at the end of January, and every time I met someone in each division, I decided that I would put the boys first, and we said that the boys are after confusing me here now, they're shouting at me. So we decided that this is a competition that we want to push on. It's a real development competition, so it is, and we're looking at progressing in every game that we get. So we started off with our trials back in January, and each time we grew, so we did. But I'd like to thank James Woodlock, actually. He released the 6 minors back to us, and were a big help to us. But it's progression for them as well, like it's development for them too, you know. So
everybody entered into the spirit of what this was about.
It's a development competition, so it is, you know. For those young lads, an awful lot, the majority of those young lads were disappointed because they didn't get onto the county minor team or didn't make the county minor 26.
They've had their day today,
now
though.
They're after having their day, so they are. And credit where credit is due. They gave us everything, and I hope everyone enjoyed that match. That was a serious game, like, wasn't it?
I know. How could you not?
Oh, unreal. Thanks, Ken. Come on, thanks, Ken. Yeah.
So I'm going to try and get your captain here. I'm going to ask him one question, but I'll ask you at first. What on earth did you say at half-time in this first period, after the first period of extra time? Because he came out and put the ball over within about 2 seconds, and it was an unbelievable score, and it set the tone.
You don't have to say too much to these young lads. Genuinely,
I get away. I don't believe you.
They realised that they started slow themselves. They didn't perform in the first half, and I didn't have to say much. We left them to their own devices for about 8 minutes. We went in, they sorted it out themselves, and we said, lads, you haven't performed. We want you to perform. Bobby led by example. An unbelievable player, so yes.
Absolutely. Well, he's coming over now. Thanks a million, John. I'll get a quick word with him here. Bobby, we're live just on the cameras here. Very quick comment from you. You came out at the start of the second period of extra time and had the ball over the bar in about 2 seconds. Was that to set the tone?
Yeah, I suppose they told us just don't get down easy and stay at it. So we knew from the throw we needed to get a point to slay down a marker, so we did. And that drove us on then, and we won.
What a performance by, as well, Cormac Fitzpatrick for you. Can you describe his performance for me?
He's doing it all year. He's just a serious talent, and we know we're hitting the ball to him, we'll get a score, so we did today.
Just one other thing. I mean, it's not all about the best player, and it's not all about 1 or 2 players. It's about the whole team. It's about development. How have you enjoyed, and how important do you think this competition is now that you've won it?
It's great, yeah. You get to meet new lads from around the county, and you get to wear the Tip jersey, I suppose, and everyone dreams of that. So it's great to meet new people and play for Tip,
And is it true that a lot of you lads were maybe not overlooked but didn't quite make the very, very top level, but you've enjoyed getting this opportunity? What has that worked for you?
Yeah, there's a few boys that were on the extended panel, and there's a few boys that didn't even make the minors, but this just drives them on to tell them to keep going, and we won it. So
it's not about how you get knocked down, it's how you get back up again.
That's it, yeah.
All right, fair play, Bobby. Well done to you, and well done to Tipperary. It's quite busy down here. They're enjoying this cup, and it is the Corn Michael Hogan, and why not? Tipperary man, of course, 100 years ago in Croke Park, so Tipperary getting their hands on this cup again today, and it's quite appropriate. He was only 24 years old back then, a little bit older than these young lads, but they are doing him proud, and they've done their county proud, they've done themselves proud, and all of the people here trying to get photographs with them. So we hope you have enjoyed the live stream coverage. Now on the pitch here in St Brendan's Park in Birr, we've really enjoyed bringing the coverage to you. It's been the official GAA YouTube channel, and it's been the GAA who have organised this fantastic competition. 38 teams across 30 counties, and they are all about developing the game of hurling. It's good news for hurling, and it's a cliche, but hurling today, the winner. From us all in Birr, it's goodbye.